I'm Cape Jewel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we're going to be taking a closer look at the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 13. Sparks continue to fly between Tony Stark and Peter Parker, and this is just the sort of chaotic situation that the new evil villain Regent will seek to exploit. Let's hop on in and see what happens next, shall we? Alrighty then, so as we join the comic, Orca, an evil Atlantean villain, is destroying the city because he's upset over a bunch of oil that got dumped in his ocean. And while this may look like a job for Namor, it's actually Regent who ends up coming to make the save, beating up the big blue bad guy until he's black and blue. The crazy thing is, though, is that he's almost unanimously being accepted by the people of New York as the next great hero, why he even cleans up the oil spill when he's done. Geez, Spider-Man, you leave your neck of the woods to go start a new life in Asia, and all of a sudden some other hero is getting all your cheers and adulation. Speaking of Spider-Man, Peter Parker has come to the New York branch of Parker Industries to have a meeting with Harry Osborn and kind of touch base about what's going on there. Only Harry blows him off to go have lunch with Betty Brant. Now, Harry isn't trying to be a dick here. You don't have to worry. He's not going to have a goblin relapse anytime soon. It's just that he and Betty are meeting a bunch of people from high school, including MJ, and he didn't want Peter and MJ in the same room together because he didn't want it to be awkward. Pete manages to escape the boring pie graphs and sales reports by saying that he needs to go take care of his little brother. Yeah, you see, he joined the Big Brother Little Brother program. He's also not totally lying. He did have a meeting with Miles Morales, the other Spider-Man, at the batting cages today. His internal monologue as he swings through the city is also pretty interesting, how he talks about how soul-crushing it is to run a major corporation and also keep a regular life and keep a life as a superhero. He has no idea how guys like Tony Stark make it look so easy. And wouldn't you know it, speaking of Stark, when Spider-Man shows up at the batting cages, Iron Man is already there, and this makes perfect sense because Iron Man is actually Miles' boss over on the all-new, all-different Avengers. Spider-Man shockingly gets very defensive over all of this. On one hand, Tony already kinda took MJ from him, what with giving her a fancy new job as his assistant, and now Pete feels that he's trying to take his apprentice away from him. Of course, Tony still has no idea it's Peter Parker under the mask, and really this whole situation could have been left well enough alone. That is, if Tony didn't go a step too far by saying he replaced Miles' web shooters with new, better ones, because Parker, the guy who built Spider-Man's tech, man is his stuff crappy. And before you can say Civil War, the two heroes come to blows with one another. It gets really mean. They're fighting up and down and everybody's periscoping it. Oh, sorry, Parker scoping it. Regent ends up seeing all this from his secret prison hideout, and if you remember last issue, we discovered that his family was killed during a bunch of superhero crossfire, so this strikes a particular chord with him. Miles tries his hardest to be the mature one and tries to get his two mentors to calm down, and when they don't, he decides he's just going to leave them to their own devices. Unfortunately, that was a poor choice as he walks directly into Regent, who ends up taking him hostage. Regent's already siphoned off a bunch of power from a bunch of the different supervillains in the Marvel Universe, and now he's about ready to start doing the same thing for heroes. He'll start with Miles, and then using him as bait, he'll get Iron Man and Spider-Man to come too. The only speed bump in this finely laid plan is that journalist Betty Brant has actually found out that August Roman is Regent. Isn't that funny? She could figure that out, but she could never figure out who Spider-Man was. The Amazing Spider-Man number 13 was a decent enough issue, even if I do kind of roll my eyes at the idea of having Spider-Man and Iron Man fight now when we know that Civil War 2 is just around the corner. I'm actually surprised at the amount of depth they've managed to give Regent, what with him being celebrated as a hero and him having a sympathetic backstory about a dead family lost to superhero violence. Especially when we stop and consider that in his Secret Wars tie-in where we first saw him, he was really more of a cut and dry bad guy. Overall, I would feel comfortable giving this one a 7.5 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer, or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Cape Jewel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.